for 28 Days and Beyond, where we are embracing our heritage, our history, our culture, and our own authentic voice. And today we have a distinct honor to bring Scott Carter on the set. Welcome to the set, Scott.
Thank you for having me.
Scott, just tell me about who you are, man. Just a little background on who you are.
I grew up in Richmond, Virginia.
Richmond,
the capital of Confederacy, basically.
Oh, okay, capital of Confederacy.
Yeah,
okay.
Started doing music when I was young, playing piano, violin, that kind of thing. Grew up in a house that had music all around it. You know, had a grand piano in the living room.
Wow.
Went to Hampton University.
Okay, yeah.
Where I met a lot of interesting musicians. Chris Henderson was one of my mentors. He did Blame It on the Alcohol, and he actually worked on Casey's album when we were in school. So a lot of young, talented musicians. Teddy Riley was in that area, in Tidewater area. So he brought a lot of hip hop, R&B to Virginia.
Wow. So now, growing up in Richmond, and where do you reside now? Where do you reside? Where you live at now?
I live in Philly.
Philly. So what's the difference culturally coming from the Confederate and then coming to the North, so they say?
Well, they're both blue states, like I said, blue law states, basically commonwealths. So it's not that much of a difference, other than there's more opportunity to have your own company and run it without having somebody else be the face of it. In Richmond, when I was growing up, it was a lot of I would say businesses that would have a white face, which is, the business would have somebody that owned it, that would be black, and they would have a representative, And when I was growing up, that happened a lot, and that was the way you do business. But up here, it was a lot more opportunity, And so I decided to come up from my brother went to Temple Law School in entertainment law, and he brought me up from Richmond. And he said there was more opportunity in doing music here too, as well, because that was when soul music was coming out, the neo soul, Jill Scott and that kind of thing. So,
poetry in there.
Yeah. So I decided to come. It was more opportunity to do music here, and so I decided to come up here.
So what made you get into music, and how did you know you was musically inclined, man?
Wow.
You played the piano, people,
Well, I think the first time was hearing my dad play Autumn Leaves on the piano. And it really affected me as a child to see that happen with the piano in the house. It was like normal, like speaking. He played every weekend, and I decided to start tinkering on it. And I would make up my own, my own music and my own songs. I think the first one I made was called Rain, or something like that, and just tinkering. My mom was like, "Okay, we're gonna do piano lessons for you," and I was like, "Okay."
So your dad didn't teach you?
No, my dad didn't.
He had a patience?
No, my dad. my dad was a lawyer himself. He was an assistant Commonwealth attorney for the city of Richmond, so he was working constantly. Yeah.
So what was your friends like when you was playing the piano? And because most young men, when they play an instrument, it's people have, if you're not into athletics, but if you're into music, now we suffer when we get older. Say, man, I wish I learned to play the piano. But was you ever teased or seen as different or anything like that, or how was that experience?
It definitely took a lot of my time.
Okay.
Kids are outside playing. I'm, practicing. And I would actually have to walk home from school and go to my piano teacher's house. So, every Wednesday, I would be there practicing for hours.
Wow.
And your friends are like, "Come on, let's go, go to the basketball court. Let's play, play some football." Nah, gotta practice. Gotta constantly practice. And it kept me out of a lot of trouble too. A lot of trouble, because I had a lot of friends that were getting into some things. So yeah, I would thank my mom for that situation.
So now your dad's a lawyer.
Yeah.
Your brother's a lawyer.
Yeah.
And you're the artist. Now how did that work in the household? Did you feel any pressure? Did they say, "Hey, son, you got to be a lawyer," or they let you find your own way?
Everybody started off with an instrument.
Okay.
I have to give it to my mom for that. She had us in everything. Okay. So whether it be Boy Scouts or soccer or something like, we had to do something. So we constantly were bombarded by any some kind of activity. And my brother William the lawyer, started off playing violin.
Wow.
So he played violin, which I play as well. So basically, I had two older brothers that had to play instruments before me, and they would just get tired of it. But I was the youngest, so I was constantly trying to get as good as them.
Oh, wow.
But it's impossible because I was younger then, you know. So after everybody stopped, I kept on doing it. You know, my oldest brother was in a rap group.
Wow.
You know, I was like, oh, this is amazing. You know, came back with a demo, and I was like, oh, I want to do that. You know,
wow.
So constantly, I had basically mentors in front of me, which were my brothers doing what they did.
How has music changed, man?
Oh wow, since I started, it's changed a lot. In the '90s, there was a big boom in industry for black music, R&B and everything. You know, they got the Puffies, you got
the Biggies.
Yeah, the Biggies and everything. That created a boom. So the big industry, the distribution labels, the labels would actually throw money at it. So you had a lot of producers, a lot of businessmen making a lot of money and a lot of opportunity for young black men to excel.
Yeah.
You know, in the 2000s that stopped because they weren't getting a return on their money.
Yeah.
So like you had the Puffies that made the money, but the market and the way by which to do it changed. You know, so that the heads are like, well, we're not going to throw money at it because you're not returning the money. You know, so now you have and the technology started pushing. Now you have more technology, so it's easier for a young person to produce or to create something quicker. Okay, so you have a quick turnaround with less money, and now, of course, with the Napster and all that kind of thing, piracy, it kind of got to the point where the well started drying up. So you had to find different ways, and we're actually getting to a better place now with music and getting the returns coming back, because recently the IRAA has just said that streaming 1,500 streams is equal to one album sold. So it's starting to turn back around. But we did have a drought for a while, like from 2000 to 2010, 11. That was a complete drought, and so music got affected, where it wasn't that many creativeness coming out, creativity.
Who runs the business, man? Who runs it now? Who runs music? Is it the producers? Is it the artists? Or who controls it, for more or less?
It's still the distributors.
Okay.
It's still business. It's still business minded. You can have a talent, but if you don't have the skill level to get past a certain point, and the result that you want is to get bigger and to have more people buy your product and get it to as many people as possible, then you have the talented people that kind of get into a circular rut, that it's like, okay, I don't know how to get out, or I don't know how to push my information out there in the right format. So I would say the people that actually can change that are the distributors. Or we're gonna put this type of music out.
Okay.
We want that type of music out. And the newest thing, the streaming situation, which is like Jay-Z working with Tidal and giving it back to the artist. That's the new way of getting around the distributors. So now you have more freedom, because they weren't trying to give a distribution label to black artists, because Jay-Z has gotten to a certain point where you should be able to get a distribution. You should have that distribution. And so I was actually privy to a couple of conversations that were had. They were trying to actually figure out a way to be able to release the money without having, or release the music without having somebody controlling it. So now streaming is one of the ways. So now we are able to get more information out there on the web, distribute it on your web by yourself. You can do it yourself. You can get it onto iTunes yourself instead of having to go through a label.
So as we wrap up quickly, genre, and how can people get in contact with you? Genre of music you play, and how can people get in contact with you?
I do R&B, pop. I've done some country.
Something like that. Hootie and the Blowfish, man, I'm with that.
Yeah, Darius Rucker. I worked with him. So yeah, I've done it all. And you can contact me at Scottish at Gmail.
Spell that out now.
SCOTTISHH@gmail.com. Nope, just at Gmail.
Just at Gmail?
Yeah, that's just at Gmail. But the artists that I'm working with right now
Okay.
are Good Girl. So you can see them at wearegoodgirl.com.
We are Good Girl.
Yeah, We Are Good Girl.
Hey, we really appreciate you tuning in once again to 28 Days and Beyond, where we celebrate our history, our heritage, our culture, and our own authentic voice. And we'd like to thank Scott Carter for coming to the set. And we ask you to tune in once again, and we continue to bring good guests. Hey, man, we really appreciate you coming to the set.